Hello there, everyone. Good night. I'm here a bit late, but what counts is I am here. So I'm here tonight again to spread the word. I am on a mission to help everyone understand, everyone who's struggling with insulin resistance, with prediabetes, with type 2 diabetes. I want to let you know that you can absolutely reverse your numbers if you know what to do. So tonight I'm here to help you understand what you can do to get your numbers down. So if you're someone who, loses sleep at night because you're worried about, blood sugars being uncontrolled, you're worried about facing the complications from prediabetes or type 2 diabetes. If you're someone that's not wanting to be on more and more medications, you might be on your first medication. Your doctor might be giving you that 3 month window to get your numbers better before starting medications, but you absolutely don't want to be on medications. Well, tonight is for you as well. If you're someone who is facing complications already, if you're having numbness and tingling in your hands and feet, if you're having vision problems already, if your doctor's told you your kidney number isn't normal, then tonight is for you. So it's all about learning how we don't just live with diabetes, with how we just live with insulin resistance, but how we actually break the vicious cycle of prediabetes, of type 2 diabetes. And I want you to know that you can do it. So if you've been told in the past, you know what, you have no choice, it's all medications from here on out, I'm here to tell you there is a way. And this is not something that's a gimmick of any kind. Your doctor usually gives you a 3 month window when you're first diagnosed with prediabetes or even some type 2 diabetes. You get a window to turn your numbers back, right? Because the real cure here, the real treatment here is actually diet and lifestyle. So I'm here to show you exactly how you can do it. One of the biggest questions I get is, what do I eat? I don't know what to eat. And so, I have been in your shoes as well. I too have faced insulin resistance. And so I have spent years perfecting my diet and reversing my insulin resistance. And so now I spend my time, as I said, I'm on a mission. I spend my time helping people, especially women who look just like me, women who are in the struggle, to figure out what they can eat. And so the process of reversing prediabetes and type 2 diabetes is not painful. It's not a process of deprivation. It's not a process of fasting. It's not a process of feeling mystified, and confused and frustrated because there's so much conflict in information. Rather, it's a process of having the resource that you go to. You can block out all the noise that tells you cut out meat, become a vegetarian, fast for 18 hours a day. You can cut out all that noise and focus on one resource. So I'm here again on a mission to help you become more confident about how you can design your nutrition to reverse prediabetes and type 2 diabetes. Now, what I'm going to tell you about how to structure your nutrition is basically the foundation of reversing insulin resistance, but it's not the only thing to do. So please keep that in mind. Diet is a huge portion of it, but there's other components of reversing prediabetes and type 2 diabetes that is also critical. I'll touch on those, but again, keep in mind diet is just one big aspect of reversing insulin resistance. So I wanted to talk tonight about how you can design your plate, right? Because so the big question I get is, I don't know what to eat. So one of the big incentives that I offer the women, the people I work with, but the women I work with especially, is I offer meal plans and I offer some nutritional guidance, okay, on how you can achieve that ideal, well balanced plate. So I'm going to go over a meal plan. This meal plan will actually be available to you. It's a 1 day meal plan, but definitely you will get some good ideas from this meal plan about how you can structure your nutrition. And I'll tell you exactly how you can get to that sample meal plan towards the end of this presentation. So just hang in there and let's get, let me give you some valuable information first on how you can structure your meals, and then we'll go through the sample meal plan. So one of the, you're never going to hear anything different. I am going to sound like a broken record because the formula for reversing prediabetes, reversing type 2 diabetes is the same. It's never going to change. And so you're always going to hear me talk about the way you should structure your plate. You should have a complex carbohydrate on that plate. You should have lots of vegetables on your plate. You should have lots of protein on your plate. And don't forget your fats, your good fats, okay? And let's not forget the fiber. So there are basically 5 areas: fiber, carbs, fat, protein, okay? Or 4 areas. So there's 4 main things that you must be getting into your diet every day in the perfect balance. Now, fiber is easy. For everyone, fiber, minimum 25 grams of fiber a day. So write that number down and now audit your own diet. Are you truly getting 25 grams of fiber every day? Fiber is important for controlling blood sugar because it prevents those rapid blood sugar spikes. It prevents your body from converting carbohydrates to sugar so quickly that you get these very high spikes, okay? Fiber is good for blood sugar control, but fiber has other benefits as well. And so that is where you get gut health. Gut health is important. It helps with healthy gut bacteria. It helps to maintain healthy gut bacteria so your digestive system is optimized. And it helps with detox, right? Detox is essentially eliminating waste from the body. Our body needs fiber to eliminate waste, right? But our bowel movements are eliminating waste, and that's a form of detox. So fiber has so many benefits. Remember this number: a minimum of 25 grams of fiber every day. If you're getting that into your diet every day, I promise you, you should see an improvement with your blood sugars. Okay. So that's the first thing. Now, the next is, let's talk about carbohydrates, because we know that type 2 diabetes is a disease of carbohydrates, right? So our body is dysfunctional when it comes to balancing carbohydrates. And so, in order for us to achieve insulin sensitivity, we have to make sure that we're mindful about how much carbs we're taking into our body. Now, the amount of carbs that you're taking in as an individual is an individual number, okay? So it's very difficult for me to give you a number to say this is a number you should be eating daily. That is something that really should be calculated according to your calorie goals and according to your current weight and according to your goals, whether you want to lose weight, build muscle. So that number can vary. But what I will say is, if you are putting a complex carbohydrate on your plate, a small amount of a complex carbohydrate on your plate, let's say a slice, or let's say half of a sweet potato, for example, then you should be in the safe zone. Okay. So you want a complex carbohydrate. Some of you may be asking, well, what is a complex carbohydrate? A complex carbohydrate is it's in its natural form, again, like sweet potato. It's nutrient dense, like sweet potato, and it's high in fiber, minerals, vitamins, antioxidants, okay, like sweet potato. So, sweet potato, as you can tell, is definitely one good example of a complex carbohydrate. Other forms are, if you're going to look at complex carbohydrates in general, your root vegetables are a good example. So, root vegetables are a good example of more complex carbohydrate. So you definitely want to make sure, if you're going to have a carbohydrate on your plate, it's a complex carbohydrate. An example of a carbohydrate you should avoid on your plate is white rice. And to be honest, a lot of the women I work with, by the time they come to me, they've already cut out white rice. So I might be talking to the choir here. Maybe you have eliminated white rice already. But if you haven't, white rice is a good place to start. You don't want that on your plate. If you are going to have any rice, you want it to be brown rice, or good alternatives to rice are cauliflower rice, or you can have brown rice. You want to have a small amount of brown rice, at least half a cup. So that is it for carbohydrates. Our bodies do need carbohydrates, so you never want to completely wipe it out of your diet, but you want to make sure it's a nutrient dense carbohydrate. Now, the other part of our plate, at least half of our plate, should be vegetables, and I call them low carb vegetables. Those are your leafy green vegetables, okay, your water dense vegetables. Other examples of good vegetables to have on your plate is spaghetti squash is a good example of a low carb vegetable that you can have on your plate as well. So those again are really high in fiber, high in vitamin K, high in vitamin C, high in all those vitamins and minerals. Some of them are high in magnesium, and it's essential to get those things in to support your body's metabolism and support blood sugar control as well. So half of your plate should be vegetables. The other reason vegetables on your plate help, not only just getting vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants, but it's a form of what I call volume eating. Okay, you want to make sure you're getting a good volume of vegetables in because it helps with satiety as well. And it helps to slow the digestion of food, and therefore you don't get those high blood sugar spikes. So half of your plate, again, should be vegetables. And I tend to call those your low carb vegetables. Now, finally, the last two that we have to keep in mind are your healthy fats. And a very good example of a healthy fat is avocado. So for those of you who love avocado, you're in luck. And so you definitely want to have an avocado, half of an avocado, the small avocados, about half of that on your plate is reasonable. Again, it is important to understand, what you as an individual need. You want to be sure you're able to understand what your body needs to know how much. So it's very hard for me to give you a number. Half of an avocado might be a reasonable amount for you, but you definitely want a good fat on your plate. And then finally, other examples of good fats are olive oil as well. You can get your good fats from seeds and nuts as well. So those are examples of good fats. You really want to cut out the bad fats. The bad fats are margarine, vegetable oil, seed oils. Those are not good. Those are hydrogenated oils. Those are the oils that build up in your blood vessels and cause plaques in your blood vessels of the heart and the brain. So you want to get rid of those type of fats. You want to eat only your good fats. Example, your avocado oil, olive oil. Those are your good fats. And so you want to incorporate that. Now, if you want to do something, if you're not a fan of avocado, another good way to incorporate good fats into your diet is to saute your vegetables. So, for example, asparagus in olive oil, right? You can glaze it with some olive oil. Again, be mindful of how much you're using, but that is a good way to incorporate good fats into your diet. You can drizzle olive oil onto your vegetables, or you can make a homemade dressing with olive oil as well, and that is an excellent way to incorporate that into your diet. So good fats are essential. That is another pitfall that I see. People, when they come to me, some people have cut out fat out of their diet altogether. And believe it or not, that does cause significant dysfunction with hormones. Or hormones and our cellular function is very much dependent on fat. So we need fat, but we have to make sure it's the good type of fat that's going to support our metabolism and support our cellular function. And lastly, protein. And I will say one of the most important parts of the nutrition when you're trying to reverse prediabetes or type 2 diabetes is getting enough protein. That's another huge pitfall that I see, is that some people actually think they're getting enough protein and they're not. Okay, so you want to be getting at least 30 grams of protein with each meal, assuming that you're eating 3 to 4 meals a day. And so 30 grams, I'm telling you the amount. So, of course, that suggests you should be weighing your food as well. You should be weighing your food. You should be reading labels so that you know exactly how much of each thing you're getting in. But aim, this is another thing I want you to write down, and I want you to do test this out. First, audit your meals right now. Audit, how you've been eating, and assess, are you truly getting at least 30 grams of protein in each meal? And I'm going to quickly go through the meal plan so you can see. I'm going to go through at least one meal here so you can see what a meal looks like and how you can incorporate each one of these areas. So protein, don't forget your protein. 2 eggs in the morning is not enough protein. 2 eggs only has 12 grams of protein. You need 30 grams of protein. So incorporating egg whites plus those 2 eggs will definitely get you up to that 30 grams. So, again, a lot of people think they're getting enough protein when they eat 1 egg in the morning. It's not enough. I'm telling you right now. So, as audit your diet and see how much protein you're getting in. If you're not getting enough, increase your protein and you might just see a change in your blood sugars. So that is how you build your plate. But now let me show you the meal plan. Okay, so I'm going to shift this around here. And so this is a sample meal plan. I'm going to tell you exactly where you can get it. You can also actually get a jumpstart guide that I've provided that's absolutely available to you at no cost. You get a grocery list with it, and there's some guidance about how you eat. You can do some quizzes to figure out where you fall in terms of your current dietary habits and in terms of how your kitchen is currently stocked. And from that, you can build out a grocery list. And then with the meal plan, you might be able to structure a better dietary plan. So I'm hoping that that's what that will help you do. And I'm going to tell you exactly how you can grab that. The link is actually in the bio. It's a link tree link. And once you click that, you will see the free jumpstart guide. It's called the Reverse Her Jumpstart. So let's jump into the meal plan. Now, again, everybody is different. Okay. Everybody, it's not a one size fits all. Okay. So things can be tweaked. If you do go ahead and access the meal plan, just remember things may need to be tweaked and can be tweaked according to what your body needs. Okay. And of course, that is the benefit with doing a one on one with me or talking directly to me, because that way we can figure out exactly what your body needs. But so just remember, this is not a one size fits all approach. Now, let's go over the breakfast, okay? Because a lot of people struggle with getting enough protein in the breakfast, okay? Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. So the first thing I want to start with is make sure you're eating breakfast. Intermittent fasting is not it has to be done correctly. Fasting during the night is the best time to fast. But for those of you who are skipping breakfast and waiting till noon to eat, that's not a good approach if you're trying to reverse prediabetes or type 2 diabetes. Okay. So eat breakfast. It's the most important meal of the day. Now you want to make sure your breakfast is loaded with protein, fiber. We talked about the healthy fats, and we talked about the healthy carbs. So, here in the meal plan, I give a breakdown of the total days, the total day, and what your macronutrients should look like. So if you look there, it's about 1,200 calories. Again, some people will need more. Okay. A lot of people will need more than that. So it's okay to adjust accordingly if you know exactly what your body needs. You notice that the carbs are kept on the lower side. The fiber is again above 25 grams. So this is all the whole day's worth. The it looks like I wrote carbs twice here, but this is the net carbs. So your net carbs is your total carbs minus your fiber. So why do we do this? So when you're eating carbs, fiber is a carb, but fiber is something that does not is not absorbed into your body. You don't use fiber. So we want to understand what our net carbs are, okay? Because the net carbs is what is absorbed into the body and what will become sugar, okay? So here you can see the net carbs is pretty low, less than 40 grams for the day. Okay. So you want to aim for a net carbohydrates of, some people, again, it's different, 40 to 60 grams a day. You want to aim for fats that are a bit on the higher side than carbohydrates. But again, I'm going to stress good fats. Okay. So, yes, believe it or not, when we're aiming to reverse prediabetes and type 2 diabetes, we are aiming to, again, keep your body fueled, but we want to keep the body fueled with lower carbohydrates and a little bit of a higher good fats ratio. Okay. And then notice here, your proteins are very high, over 100 grams of protein a day. So here, protein is critical, getting enough protein. The average person is probably only getting about 50 grams of protein a day. So I'm challenging you this week or for the next couple days, audit how much protein you're getting in. And I'll bet you it's much lower than 100 grams of protein. So the way I designed the plan, this is the breakdown: low carbs, high fiber, high protein, okay, and higher fat content, good fat content though. So don't misconstrue that though. When I say higher fat, it has to be good fat. So that doesn't mean you're going to have, for example, something that has high fat content like bacon. Bacon is a poor source of fat, it's a poor source of protein. That is not something you want to be using at all to get protein or to get your fats. You want to aim for good sources of fat like avocado, olive oil, salmon. Those are your good fats, seeds and nuts. All right, so let's go for breakfast, okay? And then after that, you can access the meal plan at the link that I told you, the Linktree link. It's in my bio, and you can look through all the other meals on your own and structure it however you want. But here, the breakfast is Greek yogurt. So Greek yogurt is an excellent source of protein. It's an excellent source of probiotics. Okay. And so protein and probiotics, it's good for gut health. So Greek yogurt is a good source. You want, if again, when we're reversing insulin resistance, when we're reversing prediabetes and type 2 diabetes, you don't want to go for the yogurts that have sugar in there, no added sugar. You want to go for plain Greek yogurt. And yes, you can go for full fat if you want. Okay. Okay. Why full fat? Because in this case, we are aiming to have a little bit of a higher fat intake throughout the day, okay, to help us with our energy and to help us with our satiety. So full fat Greek yogurt is okay. If you want to go with the lower fat content, that's fine as well. So here we have enough Greek yogurt to get 15 grams of protein. So right there, you've knocked out half of that 30-gram goal for the meal, just with the Greek yogurt. Now, Greek yogurt by itself, as plain Greek yogurt, can be a little bit difficult to eat on its own, right? So we want to now add things that will give it a little bit more flavor, but is also good for blood sugar control. So we're going for a plain Greek yogurt, but here we're going to go for our low glycemic fruit. So a big question I get all the time is, can I still eat fruit if I'm trying to reverse pre-diabetes or type 2 diabetes? Yes, you can. Fruit, but you want to go for the right fruit. So low glycemic fruit, the best example of low glycemic fruits are your berries. Okay, strawberries, blueberries, blackberries. So you can have frozen berries as well. Those tend to last a bit longer. So you can put that into your Greek yogurt. Again, you want to make sure you're eating a reasonable amount. When I say reasonable, you still want to pay attention to the carbohydrates. And yes, berries still have some fructose in there, which does become glucose in the blood. So you definitely want to make sure that you're paying attention. You're not just, putting a whole cup and a half or 2 cups. You want to be reasonable with the amount of berries that you're using. The other benefit of the berries is you're getting fiber. And don't forget, that's where you're going to be getting your vitamin C and your antioxidants. Antioxidants are so important for fighting, for actually repairing any damage that's done in the body, for fighting inflammation in the body. So you want to incorporate your berries, and that is the benefit of getting berries. And then you get a little bit more flavor. It gives it that lightly sweet flavor as well. Then now we want to go for our healthy fats, right? So this is where our healthy fats come from. So nuts, pistachio nuts are good. Me personally, I love the pumpkin seeds in my Greek yogurt. So you can sprinkle some. The pistachios that I use here are do have carbohydrates, and they do have the healthy fats. Again, you want to be cognizant of how much, always with anything you're eating, you want to be cognizant of how much you're eating. So you want to sprinkle a little bit of that to get your healthy fats. Also provides a source of fiber as well, and also offers, again, the nutrients, the magnesium, the different nutrients, minerals and nutrients that you can get from it. So pistachio seeds offer that rich flavor as well. And almond butter. So again, it's a healthier source of fat. Some people might like peanut butter as well, but almond butter, you want to go again for unsweetened almond butter. Again, another source of your healthy fats, and it adds that very creamy flavor that just makes it easy to eat, and then you feel full from it, right? It lasts you all the way until lunchtime, this meal. And then finally, we want to top it off again with antioxidants and a powerful, a very powerful, I call it one of those wonder foods, are your chia seeds. It is higher in protein, it's high in fiber, it's high in minerals, it's high in antioxidants as well. So you definitely want to sprinkle some chia seeds on this mixture as well to get, again, the dietary benefits, to bulk it up. And so this is a complete breakfast here. So, here you're getting your carbohydrates, you're getting your healthy fats, you're getting your fiber, and you're getting your protein. Now, if you look at the breakdown of the calories here, you will see the calories, 375 calories. So it's lower in calories. You're getting 20 grams, a little over 20 grams of carbs. You're getting 20 grams of fat, and there's good fat incorporated in there as well. And you're getting 20 grams of protein as well. And here you're getting 10 grams of fiber. So that is 10 grams of fiber is half the day of the goal, almost half of your goal in fiber. So that's pretty much how the breakfast is structured in the sample meal plan. I'm running out of time, but we can go through quickly on lunch just so you can get the gist of how these meals are structured. Again, that plate that we're going to talk about, healthy fats, protein. We want to talk about good complex carbohydrates, and we want healthy fats, protein, carbohydrates, and the fiber. Okay, so let's break this one down quickly. So complex carbohydrate, here you have your sweet potato. Okay, your protein, a high protein. Here in this meal, you are getting a lot of bang for your buck, 45 grams of protein. And here is tilapia. Okay, you can use any other source. So if you're going through this and you see something that you're not a fan of, if you're not a fan of fish, you can replace this with another source of protein. You can replace it with chicken. You can replace it with ground turkey. So don't don't feel held down to one source of protein. You can always replace your protein with something else, and you can always season it the way you want. So tilapia is our source of protein here, and this is 45 grams of protein here. Sweet potato is our source of complex carbohydrate. Again, lots of vitamins. It has our fiber in there, and you don't get that blood sugar rush with it. So, and then here is our healthy fat. We're going to glaze it with some olive oil, or you can saute your tilapia in the olive oil. Again, it's important to know exactly how much olive oil you're using, because you don't want to use too much either, right? We do want to incorporate healthy fats, but it doesn't mean endless fats as well. So you have to know how much your body needs, and make sure you're within that goal. And then, of course, we're going for our vegetables, right? Our low carb vegetables. So cherry tomatoes are a good option. They offer a nice sweet taste to it. And then you have your cauliflower as well, which bulks it up, adds the fiber as well. It does have some carbohydrates in there. And then you're going for your leafy greens, which is your spinach. And here you have your complete meal. It's a complete meal, tasty, it's filling. And if you look at the breakdown here, again, lower in calories, 357 calories. Carbs are about 21 calories. So between breakfast and lunch, we're already looking at 40 grams of total carbs. Okay, remember, you're going to minus the fiber from that, but you already have about a total 40 grams of carbohydrates already. So it's on the lower side still. 13 grams of fat, and it's your good fats. And then you have a whopping 45 grams of protein here. If we add it to breakfast, we are looking at the breakfast was 21 grams. So you're looking already at over 60 grams of 60 grams of protein. So more than half of what you need for the day already. And we're looking at 7 grams of fiber. And where is that fiber coming from? It's coming from your sweet potato, again, your complex carbohydrate, and then it's coming from your cauliflower and your spinach. So if you're getting the right amount of vegetables, you're automatically getting enough fiber. So, this is just a quick breakdown. I'm running out of time here, but I hope that this was insightful for you. If you want to access the meal plan, to take a look at it, to replicate it, then you can access it at the link in my bio. The link should be there. Click the link. It's a Linktree link, and from there you will see opportunities to book a call directly with me to see if this is something you want to do. If you want to do the Reverse Her program, which helps you to get your A1C down within 90 days, and it happens a lot sooner than that. So if you are interested in really working with me to get your numbers better, there is the option to book a call to make sure that this is right for you. Or you can go ahead and access the free Reverse Her Jumpstart Guide, where you can get some insight about where you currently are, and figure out how you can at least get started on better nutrition and stocking your kitchen to meet your goals of blood sugar control. With that, I am going to close off. But, if anybody has any comments or questions, I am open to any question or comment that you might have. Any clarifications about the meal plan, I am open to that. So please feel free. If you don't want to comment here, feel free to reach out directly. You can DM me, you can comment under here, and we can reach out. If you want more information on what the Reverse Her Challenge is, then feel free to book the call, or just simply reach out to us and ask us any question that you'd like. So with that, if there are no further questions or comments, I'm going to close off. Just remember, I'm on a mission to help you get your numbers down So please use that access, that free access to the meal plan, to the lesson, so you can get your journey started. All right. Have a good night, everyone.